It's the day that you've all been waiting for. I'm going to show you guys how to replace the plastic front cover and license plate mount on your 2015 to 17 F150. This is going to be the same process for a lot of other years, honestly. They're pretty much all the same, but we're going to dive in and show you guys how to swap this out. This job is extremely easy. Anyone's going to be able to do it with basic hand tools, but you may want to pick up a trim tool kit if you have a painted bumper or if you're worried about maybe scratching some stuff up. First off, you're going to need to remove your license plate. Obviously, it's probably going to be a flathead screwdriver. Then, if your plastic is broken on the truck, well, you can just yank it off. I'm going to show you how to do it the nice way. So this toolkit down here is a trim toolkit that if you're doing any vehicle stuff, really worth having for interior and exterior parts. We'll get a plastic tool, it looks just like this, and you're going to find an edge where you can get in. We'll just pick a corner right here, kind of pry up, and we can use our fingers and hands to pull it off the rest of the way. Okay, you're just going to pry this off pretty much the whole way. Mine's busted, so we'll only get half of it off. And I'll have to take this other half off down here by the edge. If you're trying to pull this off and put the same one back on, then you may want to take a look at the new one, which I'm about to show you, so you can see where all the clip locations are. That way, if you're trying to reuse it, you can target these little clips with your tool. That way you don't damage it when you're pulling it out. Now that we have the plastic off, we need to remove all of these little clips right here. They're kind of useful to have around, but our kit is gonna come with brand new ones in the bag. So go ahead and yank all these out, set them to the side, stick them in a baggie or something, because they're pretty useful. If you're working on other kind of car projects, you might want to have some extra ones around. Hopefully you found this video before you started trying to replace this piece of plastic, but if you didn't, and you accidentally put the clips on the plastic first, you're going to need to remove them. Otherwise, it's pretty much impossible to get this thing clipped into the bumper. So here we have a clip installed on the old plastic, and it may be hard to see, but on either side here and here, same thing for the back side, there are tiny, very sharp little claws that dig into the plastic. So it makes removing these incredibly difficult if you put them on already. So what you're going to want to do is get some kind of small flat screwdriver like this and pry up. Then sometimes you can get it off, sometimes you can't. You'll need to get a screwdriver like this, put it on both sides, and turn the screwdriver up like this. So let me show you what that looks like down here on the ground. So I'm going to put a screwdriver in on both sides to spread those clips open, those little teeth in there, and I'm going to turn the screwdriver up like that. That's going to remove the clip most of the way. Then you can use some needle nose pliers and you're going to pull up on it. So try not to collapse it, try to just grab one side and just yank it up. So this can be a real pain in the butt if you're trying to reuse these. That's why the kits come with new ones. Here are these tiny little needles, very sharp. Be super careful if you bend these or if you're trying to push the new ones into the bumper, because these will go straight into your thumb. But hopefully that'll help you out if, one, you're trying to reuse these, or two, if you accidentally went ahead and put the clips on the plastic instead of in the bumper. Now that we have all of our old tabs removed, it's time to put the new ones in. Go ahead and take a look at your bumper plastic to see which locations are used if you forgot, because there are a few unused slots, and if you stick these little tabs in those unused slots, you're not going to have enough for the actual tabs that you need. So we'll go ahead and get these things installed all the way around. Once all of our metal clips are in place, we can go ahead and line up our new plastic bumper cover right here. The flat part is going to go here across the top. Just start by lining up one of the tabs on either side and then slowly work it in. You may run across an issue where the metal tab that's in the bumper is not quite in the correct place. Make sure you have your metal tabs in the middle of the slots, and that's going to give you the best chance of getting everything lined up. You should not have an issue if your bumper is in good shape. Let me go ahead and move the camera over because my bumper is bent, and I'll show you what you might run into. All right, so right here we can see our plastic tab, and there is our clip right there. So when you're pushing this thing in, start on one side and work your way slowly over, because you may have issues with how these are lining up. So just actually use your eyeballs and, you know, don't just start slamming on stuff. This one over here on the left, I'm actually gonna have to move over just a tiny bit. Yep, there we go. And then I've got one on the far left, which may not engage at all. Let me show you that one. So this is where the bumper is bent in right here. And you can see this clip may not quite reach, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, so I'm just looking as I'm lining these things up. These two look good. That one looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and move this bent one over a little bit. There we go. Cool, so we ended up getting that one to bite anyway. Let me back the camera back out. Okay, just go across, double check your fitment. Make sure all your clips are as secure as possible so this isn't rattling down the road. Then our last step is to take our license plate mount, and there are going to be 4 holes. Right underneath this rib are 2, and underneath this rib are 2. And those slots are going to correspond to these right here with these little quick release clips. So we'll just get these things lined up, snap it into place, and that is it. That's all you're going to have to do to replace this entire assembly. Now, the holes for your license plate are going to be unthreaded because they're brand new. So when you put your new screws in, you're going to have to put in a good bit of forward force to get those threads started. But all in all, that's all you need to do. I'll have a link in the description to this part right here. It is incredibly cheap, less than 50 bucks. It seems like the prices fluctuate a little bit with stock, but I got this one for $32 plus tax. So really a great deal if you have one beat up and it doesn't take you too long to replace it. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Well, it's the day you've all been waiting for. Today I'm going to show you guys how to have road noise in the background.